Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting live show. Couldn't get an episode up for today, but this 4-game slate, there was no props up forever. So we're going to try to sift through the muck that is 4 games with a bunch of teams on a back-to-back, a lot of teams on a back-to-back, and try to see what we can find. We had a pretty good day yesterday, I'll say. 5-1, found a couple good looks on the show as well, made more than 3 units, almost 3.5, so felt really good about some of those plays. I got some leans. We'll take a look at them. Happy to have you guys in the comments, though. Appreciate you, HBK. Glad to have you, fam. You got a parlay with Luka for 28 and Sabonis with a double-double. That's 104 on FD. I do like Luka. He's scaring me a little bit, but we'll definitely talk about Luka. I'll just throw him up on the up next stuff right now and remind everybody to bring those bets and jump in the comments. I'm going to look at all your stuff, HBK. I know you usually have some good looks. Let's see. Luka 28, and then you said a double-double for Sabonis, right? So we'll look at Sabonis as well. Say double-double for him. And Luka points, and I believe it 27.5 might even be up for some of his stuff right now, right? So I'm going to have all the bets that we do place here on the bottom line. Usually those are leans that then I go into the video as well. That's going to be on YouTube. Pinned comments is going to have the final plays on there. But I'm going to get that rolling on the bottom line. So there's a couple things you can check out in there. I'm going to be looking at, so we got Luka points and Sabonis double-double so far. What's good, Flo Farrow? Good to have you, bro. Good to have you too, T. Moss. Let me know what y'all are looking at. Rafa on his money line bets per usual. How are we feeling on the T-Wolves money line? I like it. I like the T-Wolves to win this one in this spot. We'll see what Dallas is about. I mean, they handle business eventually. Now they're on the back-to-back, right? So they did win. I'm already forgetting who they played yesterday. Let me pull that up. Who the hell did they play? It was the Jazz. That's right. They handled the Jazz. That was yesterday. Good. I'm not losing it. 15 points, 22 shots for Luka. So he's looking rough right now. That's what scares me. But I do like the Wolves with a bit more to play for, if you will. I think that Ant's going to come out strong and be pretty pissed. So we should probably look at him. What's good, Magic Marker? You got waiting on Moody props. Yeah, we're definitely taking a look at Moody. I see Buckhead wants to talk about Moody as well. Flo Farrow likes them to dominate. I think there's going to be points in this game, big time. I do think that this is going to be a high-scoring game, so I'm looking at overs in that one. Proby's got BI with an over. Hell yeah, no doubt, bro. Good to see that some people are cashing yesterday on some of the stuff we looked at. That's what we're here for. Like, y'all bring good looks, and then we go over together. So, yeah, we got Sabonis for the double-double. Let me put Moody and B-Pod. We got to put Pajemski in here, right? Like, if Pajemski's going to play, I'll tell you what I'm looking at there. It's pretty simple. Basically, put like Andrew Wiggins is out too, and he was a secondary playmaker. He was basically the point guard behind Steph, running things when Steph was off the floor, which was about 15 minutes per game. So without both those dudes, because Steph is out with the ankle, now we're talking about Moody and B-Pod being the dudes that step up, and I'm seeing that you guys are seeing the same thing. So I got B-Pod coming up, and I'm just going to call him Pods. There's nobody else that we could mess him up with, and he's got a Z in his name. It's pretty tight. All right, Pods, and then we'll just call him Moses. Not Moses Brown, Moses Moody. I'll just say Moody. But nobody better come in here and be like, do you mean Moses Brown? I do not. I mean Moses Moody. So here's what we got coming up here in a minute. I'll be taking a look at that. Let's see. We got Trace Jackson Davis look from Rich and a Kyrie look as well. What's good, Free Sauce? Good to have you. Let's see. And you like Kyrie. Yeah, you're the one bring Kyrie. So we'll put TJD up here and Kyrie. TJD burned me the other day. I'll tell you what happened there. I did an easy deep dive, not even a deep dive, just a quick dive on what happened in that game. Let's see, putting Kyrie up here and TJD. And Kyrie, we got the points, right? So, yeah, I know he went off last night. My thing kind of when I was watching it, my initial thought, I don't have too much to go on this, is just like, so what's up with last night? It was like Kyrie night, and it was not Luka night. Is Luka saving stuff for tonight against the Wolves, and he does want to win this game? We called the right play for Luka when he went over against the Suns because he loves playing against Booker. I don't know if that's necessarily the case yet with the Wolves, but that would be a little bit of speculation, essentially. Let me see what else I'm putting up here before I get into it. There was one more I saw. Green, yeah, Meek Zell is bringing Draymond. So, yeah, and I gave out a play for Kuminga that I didn't realize Andrew Wiggins was even questionable, and now he's doubtful to play. So let's put Draymond in here. The thing that with Draymond, and I see a bunch of people on the overs, and I guess this secret's out, but for Day Green, as his nicknamed, he's not good without Steph. He's worse without Steph. I think a lot of people are hip to that. It's somewhat intuitive, but initially you'd think, oh, Draymond is going to do work because Steph is out, right? But if you look at Draymond with and without Steph Curry. Let's do first, just do last season. I think if you even look at his career, it's pretty stark, the difference. So last season, he did play fewer minutes without Steph. They were probably giving up in those games. So last season is not actually as good of an indicator. Let's just look at his career with and without Steph Curry over the span of, that's a lot of games, right? What, like more than 800 games, 820 games. So we're looking at fewer points per game without Steph, fewer rebounds without Steph, and 0.4 more assists without Steph. That's for his career. So basically the same on that. So he doesn't get better. At the very best, he's the same, and probably a little bit worse without Steph Curry. You're not leaving Draymond Green wide open. So almost full point less. The rebounds are less. The minutes are about the same. So you see how there's a difference there. I do understand that look for Draymond under. That's always where I lean. But I don't know that they're giving us value with Wiggins out. That's the thing, is like Draymond going to step back into a bit more of a facilitator role this year. I'm not sure. Let's start with Luka, though, and get into the one game that is probably going to at least like the best matchup of teams. What are the other? I mean, Denver, Brooklyn's poo-poo. And the Pelicans, and without Steph, that's not really as much of a game. So we're starting with Luka. And the things that I'm looking at with Luka, though, is like, it's the beginning of the season. Dude always starts out hella slow. We're talking about 36%, 48%, and 23%. So what's Luka shooting on the season? I'm just going to bring that up real quick. Let me pull up. I'm going to pull up outlier.bet as well. This is a really solid tool, so I can just kind of get everything in one place. Some of the stuff like Props Madness is fire for a lot of reasons. I also suggest outlier.bet. All the links are in the video or the description of the video if you want them. Let me pull up Luka real quick. I suggest using multiple different tools as well. They all offer something slightly different. And I talk about that a lot when we do the live show. But if there's any questions about any of the tools, definitely jump in there and let me know. All right. So the point of coming over here to look at Luka instead of just doing it on Props Madness was being able to see the whole season. So I filter it to 2023. I go down to see where he's at. I'm sorry, 24. What the hell year is it? And look at these things. So right now I have this on his, what is this on? The first quarter rebounds. That's not what I want to look at. I want to look at points to start, because that's what we're at. So 28.5. You can also see where else this is available. Maybe there's a 27.5, because that was actually the original request was, can you look at Luka 27.5 over? And this is on FD. You can get an alt line for Luka to get 28, and then you parlay that with the double for Sabonis. That was the look that we just had. Oh, and I'm not even sharing my screen, y'all. My bad. I don't know if you guys are commenting. Amateur hour over here. Let me pull this screen up. All right, pulling up outlier.bet. That's on me. Let me pull this banner up correctly. You're gonna figure it out. It's still early in the season for everybody. You know what I mean? That's not. If you want to parlay play, you can get a link in the description. Whatever. All right, looking at Sabonis. Let me pull this up. Or not Sabonis. Excuse me, Luka. Pulling this up. Let me pull this down so you can see a bit more of the screen. All right. So we got Luka in here, and we're looking at points right now on the season. This is 27.5. This is for the point of a potential parlay with him and Sabonis on the double, which I do like. I was hoping to get some overs for Sabonis tonight as well, actually. So that's an interesting look. If we look at him on the season, the field goal percentage is at 36%, and from deep 30%, right? He made 4, 5, and 1. I like the threes look for Luka, and we can do a little bit of finagling here on Props Madness to see, do the threes correlate to the points? Like, should we be taking the points if he gets the threes? The threes are what, 3.5 at least? Yeah, so it's even money for him to get 4. He's done that twice this year, and he does that against the Wolves because they play drop defense. I mean, we saw that all in the playoffs last year, right? What did he do against them in the regular season last year? So this is, let me just make this regular season only, head-to-head in the regular season. So only 2 games, 5 for 12 and 2 for 7 in this one in 39 minutes. Did not get a lot of threes off and was playing without Kyrie, interestingly. Then he comes back and does this on the January 7th that he had. So he had 2 good games against them. Obviously, if we take out the regular season, bro is just pulling, right? But he was playing 41 minutes, and you can put him at like 37 for tonight if you think so. Let's look at him on back-to-backs last year. Let me look at Luka real quick. Luka Doncic on no rest last season. What did he do when he played on 0 days rest? Let's see. He averaged 20. He played 37 minutes. He averaged 29, basically 10 boards and almost 11 assists, right? That's pretty good. These are some bad teams in here, obviously, but did his thing. I think 25 is a solid floor for him. Obviously, that's what we talk about with Luka. 28 though was something he did all but twice, 26, 25 right here. So he did it all but twice on his no days of rest. So he definitely pulled a lot of, what was his field goal attempts at? 22 field goal attempts. What did he average on the season? I'm just back on outlier.bet. 2023 field goal attempts per game, 23.4. So he averaged one fewer free field goal attempt on no rest last year. Nothing really in terms of a pattern there. But I mean, this hit rate in 40 minutes is wild, obviously on 3.5, and there's even 2.5. That's probably an unbelievable parlay leg, even though it might not get you that much. Minus 165 for Luka to hit 2 threes on BetMGM. That's a stale line. I'm almost willing to just pay that for him to hit 3 threes, rather. Excuse me, not 2. So yeah, you can probably get some good juice there. And even for him to hit 4, which once again, he's done that twice this year. How many do you project him to hit? I think that's as good of a play as any. So the thing I was going to look at real quick, if you think he's going to hit 4 threes, which look, the odds are not indicating he is, you get plus 130 on DraftKings. My Lord, they do not think he's going to shoot threes in this game. What? Okay, plus 130 is absurd. I almost have to take that on principle. What am I trying to see real quick? Why would that be inflated so high? All right. So last year he averaged 3.8. I mean, this year, maybe, I don't know. They will really, really, really want us to take it. And now I'm skeptical for how bad they really want us to hit that over. What is on Pinnacle? It's 2.5 at minus 192. Wow. So they're saying they think he's going to hit 3 threes, but they don't think he's going to hit 4 threes, and they're willing to put that bet up for the 2.5 versus the 3.5. Interesting. All right, let me not spend too much more time on this. I'm gonna put Luka in here as a lean on the bottom line right now. I'm gonna put his threes. I really like those. And here's the last thing I was gonna show you: 2023, 24. When he hit, and we can filter this by going to advanced filters and say 3-pointers made. So when Luka hit, let's say he hits 4 3. Let's say he hits 3 to 4 threes for a second. Let's just do it this way. So he hits 3 to 4 threes. Let's go to points. How does he do against 28.5? So if he hits 3 to 4 threes, he's getting 33 points is essentially where we're at. If you think he's hitting, let's just say he hits 3 threes. Exactly. Still a really nice hit rate up at 31 points. I'm just using this to go, what are the odds that he hits 3 threes? Well, they're pretty high. Over 2.5 threes for minus 190. That's them saying there's a very high implied probability that he hits 3 threes. Well, if he hits 3 threes last season, he's getting 31.2 points. And I think he's going to hit threes against the Wolves because that's what we keep talking about. Playing pick and roll against Rudy Gobert. You're going to get that. So first of all, I'm going to take Luka because this is absurd. Luka over 3.5, 3 p.m. is plus 130 on DK. That's at least worth 0.5 right there. And then I do think Luka to get 28 points is a good play. I think Luka 30 plus, even on an alt line play, is a good look. So I feel you on the HBK put a nice parlay in, talking about Sabonis on a double-double and Luka to get the threes. I'm going here to see what his alt line is to get the points to get 28 plus points and a double-double for Sabonis. That's a decent payout. If we put him at 30 plus, yeah, it's basically the best number we get there is even money on FanDuel for him to get the 30 plus, which I would say, yeah, I mean, 28.5, 30 plus for slightly better juice. Either of those I'm good with. But I think Luka, if you are going to take the points, might even just consider parlaying that with the threes. If he's going to hit 4 threes, he's going to get 30 points. You see what I'm saying? So if you're going to take the threes, add the points to it because I don't see him hitting 4 threes and not getting the points. That's where we're at with Luka. So I'm going to leave him here on the threes for right now. I think that's a great look. That's my favorite one, but the points are pretty much equal in that sense. I don't see a situation where he doesn't get it at that point. So, all right, cool. Let me keep rolling because I took too much time on Luka, even though, it's Luka. It's like, at least I'm not spending all this time on like a Daniel Gafford bet. Let's look at Sabonis and what we think he might do against the Jazz. And if anybody sees Brandon Pajemski or Moses Moody props up, alert the chat immediately, please. Still not seeing that. Just the 4 bros right here that I guess are probably going to be starting is what the books are saying. ETR projections probably just came out too. So now is when we're going to start seeing shit come out around 5 or so, right? 5 p.m. Eastern is when the ETR stuff comes out. Establish the Run, best projection site in the land. We should probably look at Lowry eventually too, right? But we were talking about Sabonis. All right. DeMontis, 18.5 points. Let's see. How many shots he taken this year? 13 in game 1, 14 and 8. Just 8 against the Blazers when they won by 13. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, DeMar and De'Aaron Fox are going to eat into his points for sure. But let's see. I mean, he just the double. Wait, yeah, this is a walking double. What are we talking about? This is what is the double by itself? Let me see if that's at least worth it in the juice there. So that's another beautiful part about outlier.bet is that you can get the alt lines. You can also get the double is listed here as well. So that's nice. So the double is minus 450 by itself. Wow. So for Luka to get his points and for Domas to do something he does a bajillion times. How many times did he do it last year? In 23, he had 79 of his 84 games were a double. Yeah, I would say that's a bet right there. I like that parlay. Might even just consider tailing you. But either way, I'm just going to put right now on the leans on the bottom that Sabonis double. If you get anything around plus 104, so that only gave you like 10 cents, right? So he doesn't really juice it up that much. But if you want to add him as like a leg to like 3-4 bets in a parlay, which I don't always recommend, but whatever. I think a 79 out of 84 hit rate is a pretty good something to lean on. That happened 94% of the time last year. So I'm just saying Sabonis DD is a good parlay leg. If it juices you up at all, if you see this not help you at all, then whatever. I would say the Luka bet, I'd almost rather, I mean, whatever, add the double to it, but it's not helping you too much is all I'm saying for that. All right, so Sabonis double, that's obvious. I don't even know why I'm not thinking. Obviously, when I even bothered to put it in there, obviously that's a good add to anything that you want to juice up a little bit. Just make sure you're getting the juice. For Pajemski and Moody, I'm going to skip them for now because we don't have their looks. But I'll say for Pajemski, what I'm eyeing here, I mean, I think we're going to get inflated lines. I think Pajemski's going to be at 6.5. I think everybody and their mom is sitting around waiting for Pajemski props. We're probably not going to get that much for it. So, all right, let's keep moving. I know there's other stuff coming in. I think you mean Christian Braun, right? For 10 plus points. But yeah, we can look at that. Not Ryan Braun, which would be our Braun. But yeah, not the cheater who played for the Brewers. Let's see. That was wild when that happened. I'm Kyrie then at this point. All right, let me get to Kyrie to God and see where we're at with homie. And we'll come back to this game because I got some more looks, but definitely keep jumping in the comments, y'all, and letting me know if there's other looks. I see some of those coming in, so I'll definitely make sure to get back in there. I'm gonna try not to spend more time than is reasonable on some of these. So Kyrie, man, this is like Kyrie and Luka in the regular season is not something I love betting on unless I have a strong angle. You're always gonna see both their props mad high. So he went for 23 yesterday. He's got back-to-back games, barely climbing over this, right? If you remember betting on Kyrie against his team last year, it's pretty fucking frustrating if I do say so. I guess he did better against this squad than I remember. He had the 3 good games, right? Yeah, game 1, game 3, game 5, he played well. And then these were the 2 frustrating games. Still took 18 shots, 16 shots, but he's playing hella minutes. And in this game, he played 39 minutes in the regular season in January against them. Put up the 35, but 6 for 8 from deep. 6 for 8 from deep is not something I want to rely on. And then in the bad games, he still shot, 44% from the field, but he shot 4 for 7 from deep and still didn't get his points. So it's just a little sporadic. Like, this is not something that I have a strong angle for that I want to bet on specifically. This is also a very, very good defensive team. If Dante DiVincenzo gets the minutes he's been getting as opposed to Mike Conley, then yeah, Kyrie's not going to have an easy out, and they would never put Mike Conley on him anyway. So we're probably going to be seeing a bit more. We'll see what Klay can do too. Can Klay hang with some of these guards? I'm not really sure. Klay might be a good under as well, to be honest with you, just because of the perimeter defense that'll be on him. And I imagine they're just going to stick somebody on him, whether it's Jaden. Well, Jaden's going to be on Luka. So the matchups are going to be Ant. Oh yeah. So you can put Ant on Klay. That's going to be easy for Ant. And then you make sure that Klay doesn't get the shot. Ant's big enough for that at least. Yeah. I don't like the Klay stuff, but yeah, there's nothing. I already knew there was gonna be nothing. I don't have an angle for why Kyrie would have a game tonight, to be honest. He's done pretty well. 21.5 is not a super beatable number for homie. What was it last year for him? He averaged 25 a game last year. All right, he should be. Well, this is including the playoffs. Look at the regular season, 26 a game. Damn. Okay. So there is something to that. Maybe this is too low beneath his prop line. I don't remember if Luka missed any games. I'm just going to make sure that these are all with Luka that we're taking into consideration. With Luka, let me put since Gafford got there too. So with these dudes last year, yeah, he still had 26 points per game. If you want to use that, that's fine. This is a really good defense. This is not going to be a dude. I'm going to pull up Courtside Pal for a minute just to kind of show what I'm saying here. Small scoring guards still are not going to do well against the Timberwolves. So that's why I'm just like, there's not really an edge even at a number like 21.5. Let's look at Kyrie for one sec though. I know a lot of y'all are familiar with Courtside Pal. If you're not yet, this is good for player type versus defense, not player position, right? Point guard doesn't really help me. A lot of different people are labeled point guards, but they play differently. This shows you the way that people play. How do they do against this defense? So we're looking for Kyrie. We're going to hit points, and I'm going to do shooting. This is where he shoots from on the floor. How well does this do against Minnesota? Where you at? Minnesota 22nd. So this is like the 8th best team at limiting where he wants to shoot from on the floor. As far as how he scores, off the dribble, blah, 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 middle of the pack. So if you are a scoring, shifty little guard, you might be able to get some points off on this team. I will say that. What about his assists? Just because we're already here. Nobody gets assists versus Minnesota. They give up the third fewest in the league last year, and that's what they do to his playmaking style as well. And for rebounds, for a guard like him, it's just luck of the bounce. I don't really want to mess with that either, but no edge there. So I'm kind of off Kyrie. Let's look at TJD and Draymond real quick. And I got to bring up Kuminga in the same breath. So we're going to knock out a bunch of these Warriors players real quick that do have their props up so we can talk about that. All right. Let me add a couple here as well. We got all Warriors up. I just realized that are on the up next. So let me get rid of Kyrie. Let me say this. We know that if Pods or Moody get their props up, y'all are going to let me know. We're going to go right over it. So I took them off. I'm going to put TJD and Draymond up. Let me get a couple here. I got a couple people talking about Christian Brown and his points tonight. I think maybe the thinking, and another thing real quick, let me know what y'all are thinking when you put the bet in. If you have a reason for why you put it in, let me know. It gives me a good starting spot for at least why you want to bet on this stuff. But I'm guessing for Christian Brown, there's a little bit of young dude playing on the second night of a back-to-back. He's been getting buckets and minutes, and he's been, he's been playing super well. I'll say that as well. What's good, Jay? Good to have you, bro. And Mike can't stay long, but is always here to drop a points prop for a center who is going up against Jokic. We talked about this hella last year. He and I are very much on the same page. It very much so worked with Pirtle last night as well, by the way. Pirtle had the best game of his fucking career, baby, against Jokic. So yeah, these centers come to play against the best center in the league, not defensively anyway. This is one thing I'm scared of with Draymond as we about to get into it. Meek brings up that Drake's going to get minutes, but ain't going to score a lot of buckets. That's for damn sure. Certainly not going to score buckets. There's fewer shooters on the floor to pull off. Like, you can just leave his ass. You don't got to worry about anybody, but you don't have to. That's the other thing, is like, you can stay on him. You don't got to worry about other shooters very much. But he is going to get minutes. Some of y'all do seem to be in on that. I got to put Ingram and Sexton. What's up, Yehoshua? We'll put that in right now for you. Yeah, we should look at Sexton, and I already forgot the other one, Ingram. And I know BI was somebody that people wanted to look at too. So we'll keep that in the same game. We got Ingram, and the other one was Sexton from the Yaz game versus the Kangs. All right, those are what's coming up next. Let's get into this this other real quick. Sorry, I interrupted myself. What's that website again? This one that I'm on right now is called Courtside Pal, but you need the exact, right now they're switching over their data to get to 2024, 25, so they have it. I just put a comment in the chat that is the exact link. If you can grab that exact link, put it into your put it into the browser, and this will bring you to the site that works. It's going to show you 2023 data, but it's still somewhat helpful, at least for teams that haven't changed too much. So leave that up for a minute. So if y'all want to copy it, you can actually get the site to work. Let me pull up this game in this Pellies and Dubs game. So looking at some props here, I faded Kuminga. I got a really good number. This was at 20.5 points. It's now 19. And this was at 5.5 boards. It's now 4.5. I took under 25.5 PR for homie. You can't get that anymore anywhere. 24.5 doesn't scare me, but Andrew Wiggins being out scares me. So I really was very confident that Kuminga wasn't going to see more than 25 to 28 minutes tonight, regardless of Steph being out. But Andrew Wiggins being out scares me a lot more. At the same time, Wiggins being out does mean they need ball handlers in there. That was basically their shooting guard, and like backup point guard was Andrew Wiggins. So that's why we're waiting on the B-Pods and the Moses Moody props, because I think those dudes step in and play the Steph role a lot more than Jonathan Kuminga steps in and does it. That's not going to be him. And even Draymond is still just going to try to do Draymond stuff, but his effectiveness is just so impacted by Steph and whether or not he's on the court that, yeah, we can't rock with it. So, all right, let's see. What about TJD? So here's what happened to me with motherfucking TJD was that I didn't realize that they were going to actually play Kevon Looney, who you'll notice we do not have props for, because they're not going to give us fucking props. But if you look at this last game, Looney came in and just took all of the minutes, right? I'm actually just going to pull this game log up real quick on NBA.com and just try to not type like an idiot. All right, NBA.com. Let me just go to, this game was Sunday, right? So against the Clippers, Zubac was in there, and really what I'm guessing now, and this is still a little bit of speculation, but Steve Kerr is going to be playing Looney against big ass dudes like Zoo, who is Shaq this year, by the way. Zoo Shaq. I don't know. We got to come up with something for Zubac, who is Shaq this year. I mean, 18 boards, 23 points. That was against Kevon Looney, though. So you see TJD played 15 and a half minutes. He had been playing mad minutes, and then they took him out and they put Kevon Looney in for 20 minutes in this game. And that's where all of TJD's minutes went. Otherwise, he's probably looking at 10 more minutes here at 25, 26 minutes, and he couldn't get it. So is he going to play this game? Well, I mean, he played in 2 other games a lot more. So against the Blazers, that's DeAndre Ayton, not quite the dominating center that he claims to be. He's shooting foul shots and like jump shots from the foul line. He's not really banging down low. He's a good rebounder, but either way, not the best defender by any means. And here he had 17 minutes. So he still did work against Utah, but he also he started this game against Utah and would have had more minutes. But they won by 41, so they didn't need him. He was a starter, so they sat him when the starters came out in the third quarter. Then in this game, he didn't play. He still got the 16, but I don't know how to trust his minutes anymore. What I wanted to find this pattern where it's like, well, he couldn't play against Zubac, and now Looney goes right back to the bench, and they play him against a team that doesn't have a center. So it makes sense that TJD would have a very good game tonight, or at least would see a lot of minutes, because their center, I mean, they got Yves Misty coming in, Daniel Tice. They don't even start either of those dudes most of the time, right? They're starting Zion and at the 5. So like TJD coming in, playing the 5 with a team that doesn't really have a good true center makes sense. It's not enough for me to rely on. I can't rely on the minutes right now with these dudes. And I would also say TJD is more effective with Steph. And there could be something to that like without Steph, they didn't want him out there because he needs a really good point guard. Remember last year with Trace, we saw him play with Kyrie, with Chris Paul, and Chris Paul unlocked him, and Steph would unlock him to a degree. And now it's kind of like, I don't know if anybody's ready to unlock dudes. So you can't have too many non-shooters on the floor without Steph. Now you can't really have these two on the floor by themselves that long. So I don't know. I would say TJD is the one that loses minutes before Draymond, but this could also be a blowout. It would not surprise me at all if the Dubs get blown out, even though the Pelicans just lost to the Blazers. But I'm weary of all that. So TJD is a stay away from me. Draymond was a big time under. I believe it's down to, for the PRA, it's down to, okay, it's back to 20 and a half. It was at 21 and a half last night, 19 and a half as well. In fact, let me, well, no, I can't do it on Outlier.bet, but so what I would be looking at for day, the minutes, with this team, I'm going unders for guys that I don't know how many minutes they're going to play right now. If I think they're going to play very few, like, okay, 20 minutes for day, 20 minutes and 27. Let me just show you this through the lens of the Dubs overall, right? So overall, if you go to this team's stat page and you just look at their players and how they're doing, let me go to Golden State. This is just an easy way to go. How many minutes are guys getting? If you haven't watched the Warriors or heard about it, they're taking strength in numbers to a whole crackhead level. Like they're playing 12 dudes in the lineup. Nobody but Steph is playing 30 minutes a game. And that makes it tough to bank on who's going to get what. Look at, even Steph's not playing 30 minutes a game because they have multiple blowouts. So this is what we're talking about with props. It's like, all I can do is project volume. I can't say this dude's going to make shots or this dude's going to miss shots. I can't guarantee that, but I can guarantee or project accurately how many minutes someone's going to play, how many shots are they going to take. And that is what I can then bank on. So Steph at 26 minutes, Andrew Wiggins 20, like look at, right? So everybody's at 20 minutes. Kuminga's at 20, Chase Jackson-Davis at 19, Melton, who's out tonight as well, I believe, 17 minutes. So maybe if you guys play more minutes, but those guys I'm banking on are Moody, Gary Payton Jr., and Brandon Pajemski to play closer to 30 minutes tonight. So B-Pod closer to 30 probably. Moody definitely over 20, probably closer to 25 would be my hope if he should be getting that. And then Gary Payton as well, because at least he can hit a corner 3 and gives you defense that you need, right? So those are the dudes that I'm banking on. Everybody else is honestly more of an under than anything, because I don't think Kuminga and Day see that big of a rise in their minutes just because Steph is out. Like, they're going to have to do more, but I don't know that they're capable of doing what Steph did. So that's where I'm at. That's also why I'm just waffling so much today, is like, I don't like the look of this game in general. But let's move it down the line with this game. One prop I was looking at was Hawkins, by the way, but we can talk about him after BI. So with the Pellies, the first thing to get into is that Zion is still somewhat seemingly on a minutes restriction. It's tough to say because in this last game, he's only played twice. So he's played 28 and 29 minutes, both against the Blazers. One they won by 2 and one they lost by 22. But this kind of tells me that this is where his minutes are at right now for Zion, is like 29, 28 minutes. So with that in mind, like, yeah, you would think that BI would have a bit more. So he's played more minutes for sure. 32, 35, 31 minutes. So he's allowed to play the full portion of minutes. Against the Dubs, I don't remember him having very good games against the Dubs. I'm going to last season and looking at head-to-head real quick. Yeah, he only played that one game. I believe Zion was in that game. He only played 23 minutes because they won by 36. That's right. I remember taking an under in this game for BI and feeling hella lucky afterwards because he was still shooting the ball a lot and he only played the 23 minutes. So you put him at 30 plus in this game if they need him because they're not blowing this team out, which they could be doing that as well. Then it makes sense. But I don't really know what to use to bet on this dude tonight either, to be honest. If we can bring him up on Courtside Pal for a minute and just go Brandon, where you at? Ingram, second one. See what BI does against this Dubs team real quick. So if we go down, we'll look at points to start. From where he's shooting at on the floor last year, looks like Golden State was pretty good limiting his stuff. Yeah, they were basically like 11th best. His scoring profile, GS sucked against. So he is good. They do give up a good amount to the mid-range is probably what I'm guessing. So here's another great part of Props Madness if y'all didn't know, which I'm sure you did, but you can see the type of stuff they're good at. So he was mostly the pick and roll ball handlers, how he's scoring, which is interesting because you also have CJ, which is why they don't work as a team. And this Pelly's team ain't going to go anywhere in this iteration of it. I've just decided, even with DeJounte Murray, I don't know how he's going to fit in. But yeah, they gave up transition, they gave up spot up, and they give up free throws is the Dubs' weakness, especially the free throws. So it would make sense. Let's see 24-25 if that's still holding true just through 3 games. But yeah, they're better against a PNR ball handler for whatever reason. I probably haven't played very good ones. This isn't really going to be helpful with 24-25 data to see like what does he do? How does he score? What does the defense do well? Like, doesn't really help us right now because this iteration of the Dubs has not really been figured out. So like Ingram, where's this? 23 shots, 20 shots, and 17 shots. Probably would have played more against Portland, but they didn't. They sat everybody after 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. So 8 for 20, but 7 for 17. So if you put him at 20, I mean, damn, you might have to put him at 20 shots tonight. So let's say we put him at 20 shots real quick and look at what happened in 23-24 when he took that. So we'll go to field goals attempted, and we'll put this at 18-22 for right now. I think that's a fair assumption. So 18-22 shots last year, and he went over 20 points pretty consistently. He averaged 26. So if you think the shots are going to be there to that effect, yeah, I mean, that is a lot, but they're the only dude shooting for this team, right? If you look at CJ this year, he's taken 21, 17, and 19. So they're all hovering around 19 to 20 shots between the two of them. And then Zion hasn't been, right? 12 shots here, 15 shots here. I believe he's been trying to facilitate a little bit more. His assists this game, not really, only 6 potential. So Zion's just not quite as involved. It's really just BI and CJ taking the bulk of the shots, which is interesting. So that leads me to want to take something for Brandon Ingram. He had 2 good games, then the one bad one. It's fine, but like they're going to want to win this game. They're 2-1. That's a bad loss to Portland. It's a little bit scary. Does Zion have good history against this team? Because if he has a good history too, yeah, decent. This was without Brandon Ingram. So 2 of these are without BI. So it kind of seems like BI is the man for this team in terms of points tonight. I'm just going to put that in there as a lean right now because we got more to look at. And you can get 18.5. This is what I was thinking too. So 18.5 is probably an even better number when we go back and do our filter with the field goals last year. We go 23-24, put field goals up. Say he takes, let's say 18-20 even, and not even be that generous. So 18-20. Interesting. 18 to 20. What about with Zion in there to make sure that we got him and CJ? Yeah, he still took this many shots 9 times with those dudes last year. Didn't even have that many games with those dudes last year, probably, right? Let's just take this off real quick. With both of them in, average 19. Okay. Average 19. We don't have the field goals filter up, but like we should. So how many did he play with these two dudes in the regular season? He only played 24 games. 9 of those he took that many shots, at least 18 shots, right? And cap it at 20, and it's still a really nice hit rate. Let me just look at one more thing. 18 to 22 shots for Zion with both these guys. Yeah. 18 to 22 is over an 11 of 12. This is a nice hit rate. So I can see this being a bet. Let me put Brandon Ingram on the bottom line for sure. I think that at the very least, we got to add him down there right now because I see a little bit of that. So Ingram over 18.5 points. That's minus 125 on DK. I would rather take that than the 19, to be honest. I'm always going to take the extra point if you give it to me. I'd rather just win, 100% of something than whatever, an increase. You get what I'm saying. Let me move along here. We're going to take off Ingram. We got Christian Brown and Collin Sexton as well. So let me bring them up. Just going to check the chat real quick. Yeah, that's true too. Mad annoying. Pellies just have a whole bunch of the same wing player. Dude, appreciate you. Another Jewish sharp. Yo, that's a wonderful YouTube name. Appreciate it, bro. Also feels like a dig at me, maybe. Was that another Jewish sharp on top of me? Is that what we're saying, I guess, maybe? Jordan Hawkins. Yeah, this is what I was looking at, Drew Billions. Average 30 minutes without Murray and no Murphy, which is only 3 games, right? Because Murray hasn't played really with them. Minutes are going to him. Going over in every game so far, taking 11 shots, average 10 potential rebounds. So you like the PR or the points for Jordan Hawkins. Before I dip from this game real quick, let me at least look at some of that. I couldn't find anything to give me enough of an edge unless you think he's taken a leap. It's just a little bit of speculation. But if you think he's taken a leap, then that makes sense. So 34 minutes, 29 minutes. Has this team did he just not play? Oh, this is with Zion and McCollum. Excuse me. All right, good. So yeah, here's the third game. The first one of the season, played 28 or 28 rather. He's hot. That's the other thing. So 40, let's see, 50% from 3, 57% from 3, 50% from 3. I don't know how sustainable that is. That's my only thing. I don't like it when I see a dude that's been this hot for 3 games in a row. That doesn't make me want to back him in the next game. It makes me go, the averages have to come back to themselves. So if he's, let's say he's a 40% 3-point shooter, which is very good. And he's not, by the way. I know that he's not. Now I have to make sure so I don't look stupid, but I'm almost positive that he's not. Like, I'm as close to positive as I can. Let me bring up Jordan Hawkins on outlier.bet. The point of this, once again, is that I can see his season-long averages using outlier, which I cannot do on props madness. But 2023, the threes for him, 37%. So even if he was 40%, right, he would not be making this many. That would chip away at his points a ton. If he goes 2 for 7 in this game or 2 for 6 in this game, right? 2 for 6 is he's done with the points. 2 for 7, he still gets the points here against Portland, but not here against Portland. 50% from 3 is not sustainable. So that's the only thing that I would say here. He has been getting the minutes enough. 28, 29, 34. So let's do this for last year. And once again, he's probably taken a step forward. Rookie to second year, like you better be improving. And he's a good player. Also, is this his 3rd year, actually? This might be his 3rd year. My bad. Let's look at him without last year. We'll look at him without where are we at with Trey Murphy. We'll take Trey Murphy out. We don't need to take DeJounte out because he didn't play last year. And we'll put him here and we'll put him at, he's been getting 28 to 30, right? And he played the whole 4th quarter in the blowout. He did play some in the 4th quarter the other day too, but let's put him at 28. Oh, is this not, am I on minutes? My bad. Hold up. Yeah, I'm on minutes. Let's put him at 28 to 32 minutes last year. So, and this is without Trey Murphy. Still a pretty bad hit rate. What was he shooting from 3? So 20% from 3, 40%, 22%, 40%, 33%. So that's where he's at. That's where he's at as a shooter. And look, he's still probably, like I said, he probably got better, but the volume isn't there for him with the threes this year. Like, he's not going at 6 threes, 7 threes, 4 threes. And that is a good portion of his shots. 7 out of 12 were threes. 6 out of 9, nice, were threes. 4 of 13 were threes against Portland. And like I said, he played the whole fourth quarter against Portland without the starters. So you got to keep this stuff in mind. Like, this is a blowout. There was garbage time minutes. You got to filter out garbage time minutes. And he had 5 of these 17 points in garbage time minutes in the fourth quarter. Do you feel me? Right? Like, these numbers are a little skewed because you have to take the context of what happened in that game into consideration. I'm off Jordan Hawkins because I've talked myself out of it. I'm not saying this is a bad bet. I'm saying I don't have enough on my side to give me an edge to play this. That's what I'm saying. So we're good on Jordan Hawkins. The biggest thing, like I said, is last season, you look at him in this exact context. No Trey Murphy, plays 28, 32 minutes, which is what he's going to be at tonight. Doesn't really necessarily go off as much. So not what I want to look at. If I thought this was for sure a blowout in the favor of the Pellies, I would bet on Jordan Hawkins. This is the dude that's going to get garbage time minutes. And I love that we have all these Wednesday props up already. Yo, this is wonderful. Awesome. I'm going to be able to get an NBA video out tonight. Fuck yes. Let's fucking go. I've been so tired of waiting on these fucking props. Sorry for 3 F-bombs in a row, but man, it's been tough to get these props out here. All right, let's get off this game for a minute. I'm a little scared of Klay tonight, bro, just because for Klay, I think if you're the Timberwolves, you're just going to run Jaden Daniels all over the floor, McDaniels at Luka, with some Nikhil Alexander-Walker on the side as well. And then you don't got to worry about stepping off of the shooters, right? Like, if I was them, I'd just be putting either Ant or somebody else with just glued to Klay, just in his jersey, just be on his ass the whole game, because you really don't need to play off of him. He's not going anywhere. If you just don't leave him wide open, he's not going to hit threes. But anyway, there's a reason that he's been getting points, and they still dropped his prop tonight from what it was. It was at 17.5. Now it's at 15.5 tonight. The books know you got to follow that trend a little bit. So I'm off Klay on the points, and I really don't like the rebounds either. So I'm not saying, once again, not saying that can't hit. I'm saying here's why I'm not betting on Klay Thompson tonight. And if it was 17.5, I might consider an under. It's 15.5 for Klay. Otherwise, I would, like I said, would actually be considering an under there. Collin Sexton, this Jazz team, man. Let's take a look at this Jazz squad real quick. Let me actually pull them up. I have not followed them closely enough to know who's getting all the minutes. I'm assuming we got to go down far. How many games they won? 1? Where's Utah? Why do they always escape me? Utah. Bro. Oh my God, because they're 29th. They're 0-3. All right. Utah Jazz, looking at the players and just seeing how they've done this season. Let's start with minutes. We got Keontae, Lowry, Walker, Jordan Clarkson, and Hendricks. So Hendricks is out, right? That's something to keep in mind. Taylor Hendricks, that was nasty. If you saw that injury, man, that sucked. He just came down wrong, bro, and then his knee just hyper folded into itself, not extended, whatever the other one is. So he's fucked. And I don't know if he's come back this season. That was gross. Sucks. But what that means is we've got more minutes for other dudes. I would say who's going to get more time as a result. I guess maybe some Cody Williams if they want, but probably more likely like Bryce Sensabaugh. I don't think we're going to see more Drew Eubanks as a result of that. And then you've got Sexton is the question. So he's at 24.4 minutes, even though he's starting, right? I'm pretty sure Collin Sexton. Let me pull up RotoWire real quick to see what they've got for the starting lineup for tonight. This is not as good as Establish the Run, but at least we can see what they're banking on for tonight. So looking at Utah. Yeah, so Sexton's been starting. He's still starting tonight, but they got, my bad, they got John Collins back in there. That's why his props finally went up. We were getting so much value with him coming off the bench. Now he's at 13.5, a lot less value, but let me not interrupt myself. Excuse me. Collin Sexton. I don't like that his minutes have been coming out. Who's he been coming out for? If we look at them again, who's been getting the minutes in his place then? So, Jordan Clarkson, obviously. So Jordan Clarkson comes in and stays on with some starter minutes. That eats into Collin Sexton's shit. I don't think Collin Sexton's getting more minutes just because we don't have Taylor Hendricks now. So 24 minutes is what you got to bank on, but he's putting up 17 points in 24 minutes. 40% from 3, but he's not relying on threes. He's 6 for 10 from the field, and he's getting to the free throw line 6 times a game. God damn, 24 minutes. Is that what they have him projected for? Let's see how right they are. Projected minutes. Yeah, they have him at 28 tonight, but he's played 24 on average. Let me see real quick. Is that because he didn't play? So he played 25 in a 2-point game, 21 in a 41-point blowout, and 28 in an 8-point game versus Dallas. But 9 for 11 from the field, bro. I don't want to. I don't want to bank on Collin Sexton to be shooting 90% from the field. Last year, he did average 19 a game, but he was playing more minutes, right? I'm going back to Outlier just to pull that up real quick for Collin Sexton. Taking Jordan Hawkins off, put Sexton on. Yeah, put Sexton on. Let's see. His 2023 minutes were at, they were not at 6.7. What were his 2023 minutes at? What the hell? 2023. Because this is the first quarter. I'm an idiot. Points for the whole game in 23, 26.6 minutes. He averaged 19. Dude's a freaking cannon, man. What is his deal? I don't know how he's doing this, honestly. I do not. Can we just do a quick check on... by the way, everybody's going to keep me updated if Moody or Brandon Pajemski get props, right? I'm just going to go back and check again because I'm paranoid I'm going to miss it. Whatever they come out at, I want to see if it's beatable either way. I'm actually starting to think that there's so much anticipation about Brandon Pajemski and Moses Moody props for the nerds, right? Not normal, regular people with regular, normal lives, but losers like myself are just sitting here waiting on Brandon Pajemski and Moses Moody props. And like, I think they might be overvalued. Sexton's crazy, bro. I don't want to bet on a dude who doesn't take that many shots and still gets this many points. This is absolutely fucking insane. 24-25. He's averaging 11, 13, that's 24, 32 shots. He's averaging 10 shots a game, 17 points. Who the hell does that? Who the hell averages that much? His usage rate's probably pretty high for the minutes. Let's just put that up real quick. So let me go to advanced this year and pull up usage. Yeah, I mean, it's 25%. That's crazy. So John Collins had a 29% usage rate, which is why I kept betting on him, because he played with the backups. And when he was on with the backups, it was him and Jordan Clarkson, as you can see right here, both taking all the shots with the backups. So this usage percentage for John Collins is not going to stick around now that he's going to be on the floor with Lauri Markkanen. Markkanen's going to be taking those shots. Markkanen might be a good play too. What's he at? 25% usage with the starters. He didn't play that many minutes against the Dubs either. I think he probably gets hella minutes tonight. I'm just stalling because I don't want to bet on Collin Sexton, I guess is what I'm saying. I get it. I totally get it. What's his points at? 16.5. He's averaging 17. I'm not going to bet on a player to hit this many buckets. When did he do against them last year? Head to head against the Kangs. Had to have gone over when they played at home. This was on the road. Actually, both the road games at home, he didn't play well. 20 minutes, 33 minutes, 29 minutes. So if he gets the minutes tonight, then yes, Collin Sexton in 28 minutes, let's say, is great. For that amount of points, he's going to shoot the ball freaking 13 times. That's insane. I still can't get over that. I like it. I'm just not going to play it. Let me put it that way. Interesting. You got a DD priced at Nick so we got two people on Nick Claxton. And yeah, B-Pods is still wearing the face mask for sure. All right. Yeah, it says face mask on injury report next to Brandon Pajemski. That's amazing. I love that. All right, you get what I'm saying about Sexton. Great player, mad respect. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't win with him. Can't play with him. All right, let me keep moving then. I don't have anything Denver, Brooklyn yet, and some of y'all are bringing up some stuff from that game. So let me get over that because the next one's Christian Brown, and we'll just go through that game as much as we can. If y'all have anything else, go ahead and bring it up. But I am going to at least just get into some stuff here. Right now, my two favorite bets that we've come up with are Luka, some points, Luka, some threes. That's all on the bottom line. And then I'm going to put this in the pinned comment. Also, if you do want every bet, we're already up almost 8 units on the season. I was just going to let y'all know too that all of the plays that I'm actually playing, those end up in the VIP Discord. Link to that is in the description of the video. And since I know all y'all are NBA heads, you can get the NBA season pass 40% off all the NBA plays. And if you just use the season pass, you don't have to pay the monthly fee. You just pay everything up front. Gives you a nice discount. All right, let's no more plugs. Let's get to this game real quick. So we got some Schroeder looks from Legacy King. My bro just started. Anyway, Legacy King has his own channel in the Discord, the free part of the Discord as well. And homie's got some money already this season. But he's up some big numbers. Plays a lot of parlays. If you guys are parlay people, then get in there. I know a lot of people are. Oh, interesting. And you can get Sexton to get a board, basically, if you want to add that to it, is what I'm being told by Yehoshua. And the PR. So he had 3 on 6 chances, 1 on 2 chances. And this is only at what, 1.5 for the rebounds, or 2.5, I guess. Yeah, 18.5 on the PR is not a bad number if you can get it for him. Because basically 1 rebound is what you're banking on. That's not too much. Let's start with Schroeder. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, we got some wins coming our way in the NBA this year. So if y'all want to get in, the Nuggets and Nets, dog. Y'all saw the Nuggets need Jokic to do inhuman things last night, right? Because this team is a goddamn mess of a team. It is. And this is the reason, by the way. And I've been so low on Jamal Murray. I could have kept him in my fantasy league for like $10, $15. And I was like, no, I don't want Jamal Murray on my fantasy basketball team. I don't want to bet overs on Jamal Murray very much. I'm going to be honest with you. I know he had the dimes last night. The points, he got 17 in 40 minutes. What is that? I mean, 6 for 20 from the field. Against the Raptors. Against the Raptors. Let that sink in without Emmanuel Quickly. Like, terrible. Very over this man right now. The rebounds, just looking at everything for him, he had 9 boards last night. Impressive. 15 rebound chances. If you play 40 minutes, you should walk into 9 rebounds. Just going to say that. You should walk into 5 rebounds. So he had a good rebounding game. The dimes, he had 7 on 10 potentials. That's not sustainable. I would say 55% is right about what you expect the potential assists to turn into regular assists. So if we were abiding by that, 7 assists on 13 potential assists, that makes sense. 7 assists on 10 potential assists, that doesn't make as much sense. You're not going to see that nearly as often. So the points are at 17.5 for Jay Murray. I'm not going over on this man like at all. And I guess he's still, was he questionable or probable? I saw y'all talking about that too. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Ugh, God, that is a disgusting thought. That is disgusting. I do. You're so right, bro. You are calling me out on the worst possible time. I have like slacks on, I swear, because I had to do something before this. But normally I'm always wearing shorts with socks and sandals. I'll promise you that. I mean, I had to be honest with you. And sometimes when I'm feeling frisky, I go commando. We got the Winnie the Pooh on, right? The shirt and no pants for sure. But let's get back to basketball. And I had somebody ask me what my tie was the other day, and I was like, what do you mean? It's fucking Nordstrom rack. That's my tie. All right. We're looking at not Luka on no rest, but instead of Luka, we're looking at who I was just talking about, Jamal Murray on no rest. All right, Jamal Murray. And you can filter this as well to no rest stuff on like outlier.bet, props.cash. I'm just doing it real simply right here. So last year he averaged 13 points a game on no rest. They definitely kept him out for a lot because of the fact that he was coming back from injury, but he still played 33 minutes. When are these games? In December. He's already playing 33 minutes, 36 minutes, and still not getting over. So, but he did when he played those minutes. I should be careful here. 18 points. This is a bad game. 14 dimes though. Okay, so this is when he plays normal minutes and doesn't play Oklahoma City, who locks his ass up. He's fine. So there's not much there. I know these numbers suck, but if you look at them closely and you look at the minutes, when he actually plays a legit amount of minutes, he's getting 20 and 6 with at least a few rebounds. So he's not as good of a fade necessarily, just because, I mean, he's been trash this year, but Brooklyn's terrible too. So there's nothing there for me with Jamal. The specific question, Jokic, we got to at least look at him. I mean, bruh, I was surprised. 10 rebounds in a million minutes last night was what shocked me more than anything. 21 rebound chances, and Pirtle just did work, man. Pirtle was Pirtle enough last night. Pirtle-y enough. Are they giving us Nick Claxton? They are. Okay, so 10.5. The double-double is good money, too. Let's look at the boards. This is what we talk about. So he was on a minutes restriction in the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 22 minutes. So he's going up, and they said they're working him back into it. Is he in the starting lineup? Does anybody know? If you can tell me that, that'd be huge. It looks like RotoWire has him in the starting lineup. They have him playing 26 minutes. So, yeah, I think 25 to 26 is a fair projection for Nick. Just got to keep that in mind. Now, this is not the end-all, be-all projection, but let's see what happened, what he did when he played that amount last year. Let's put him at, I would say, so he only played 22 last game. Got to be careful. Let's put his floor at 24 minutes, and let's put his ceiling at 28 minutes. Last year when he did that, he averaged 9.6 rebounds per game, so that didn't really help him much. He averaged 10 points per game. So he's right at his averages for the minutes that he's being projected for, which was like 26, right? So that's why I did 24 to 28 on the filter. And we can see it's not that good of a hit rate. But at the same time, let's take some of this off and just see what he did against Jokic last season. Head to head. There we go. Head to head, 10 points in both games and 16 in one, 9 in the other. Did Jokic play in this game? This is on December the 22nd. Head to head last year. Come on, head to head. He did play in this game. So he had 31 and 11. His rebounds are down to 11 and a half at least. The assists have not been something he's doing this year either. That's why it's down to 7.5, which is crazy. Man, on no rest for Jokic, let's just do it real quick. Let's look at Jokic on no rest. I'm assuming most of y'all know about StatMuse. You do need, it is behind a paywall to make sure you can get as much as you need from it. But it's a pretty easy $20 a month to get this. So 23 a game, 10 boards, 8.7 assists when he played on no rest. He averaged 32 minutes, which is definitely below what you expect from him. They won last night. They went balls to the wall. He played 40 minutes. So you got to be careful here. But I am liking all the centers against him now a lot more. I don't think this man's going to be going all out on defense tonight. I will say that. They traveled from Toronto to Brooklyn. You know, it's a couple hours. It's a 2-hour flight, right? Maybe not even. Maybe like an hour and a half. But that's far enough. Travel after all the game. I mean, my ankles hurt, and I just walked up the stairs like an hour ago. That's the only reason. But I like the look for center stuff against him for sure. I get all that. It's interesting that you guys are talking about Schroeder on the dimes because let's see, the potentials for our boy 9, 10, and 9. And the reason I don't like the assists as much for Schroeder, first of all, they were good at limiting assists. I don't know if they are this year. Let's go to Schroeder on outlier.bet because this is another great part of outlier.bet is that you can see, by the way, I didn't mention this. This is kind of a plug, but like it's helpful for you. If you want to try outlier.bet for 7 days free, there's a link in the description of the video. You click on that, it'll take you right to the page to get a free 7 days. You can use it for yourself, see if it helps you with your bets. And then if you want to get a monthly subscription, it's pretty reasonably priced, so you can get it there. All right, so on the dimes, I'm looking at him on the assists. If we just go to 2024, we can go down and see how good this team is at limiting assists. And I believe this is still from 2023, but you can see versus point guards, 10th fewest assists per game. Like this is a very good overall 9th fewest assists allowed. This is a good defense at not limiting assists because they too, like a number of teams, don't really double. They feel like they have the one-on-one defenders between Aaron Gordon, not KCP, I guess Christian Brown at this point. I don't know why they feel that way, but they don't double. Maybe they should double, to be honest, but they don't. And so the assists are a little bit harder to come by against them. Schroeder, if we look at him head-to-head against this squad, last year played them one time, had 30.8 minutes and 9 potential assists, picked up 7. What's his number at? 7.5. Golly, this is probably a popular play today is why. A tired defense, you want to ladder his stuff. I get it. I cannot follow suit, unfortunately. You got Cam Thomas taking 23 shots. How many of those are assisted? None of them. He's just a microwave scorer that goes one-on-one. So I actually was considering, oh my good Lord. I thought this was still 24.5. It's 26.5 now for Cam Thomas. And I think he might've hit this once last year against them. No, not even once. 34 minutes though in 27. He's looking at 20, probably like another 34, right? What's he been at? 34, 35, 35. Yeah. So 34 minutes or so for Cam Thomas. Oy, when he played 34 minutes last year, this is honestly a preferred bet of mine than assists for Schroeder. I don't quite see what everyone's seeing, but if y'all have usage without Simmons, got it. Thank you. Got it. And I like this look too when you're talking about how maybe Jokic ladder because or Jokic assist because he's actually going to start diming up, unlike what he has done. So yeah, let me get to Christian Brown, but I also want to just mention for Jokic, I don't have anything. For Schroeder, I'm not going for assists. Everything actually tells me that once it gets to 7.5, I should be going under on the dimes. I can see what you're saying without Simmons, but like Simmons has been playing how many minutes? 20 minutes. Has he really been taking away from Schroeder's assists? I don't really know. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Let me bring up Strother real quick because he's been popular for a couple cappers that have hit on him a couple times. The thing that I'm weary of with Julian Strawther is not really taking that many shots. So this is similar to why I'm like scared of Collin Sexton, although his usage is way higher. So he's climbed over 6, and now it's at 7.5 because this has become popular as well. That's what happens when you get a nice hit rate. So he's averaging 7.7, and he's gone over it twice in a row, but he shot 100% from the field last game, and he only took 3 shots. So if someone's going to take 3 shots consistently, so 5 shots, 3 shots, and 6 shots. So he's averaging about 4.5 shots per game, right? 22 minutes, 16 minutes, 17 minutes. And I get that he is the dude on the bench that needs to score because Russell Westbrook is out there. So they're void of shooting without him. 3 to 5 shots. And like the minutes without Jokic are so bad, they can't keep him off the floor very long. That ain't it for me, right? Like, so I'm out, especially on 7.5. I'm way the hell out. But let's say he takes 4 shots and makes 3 of them, and one of them is a 3. So that's 7 points right there, right? He hits a 3 and he makes 2 more shots, goes 3 for 4, which, by the way, is an absurd percentage that you're not going to hit very often. Let's say he actually shoots 75% from the field. He's still under 7 points, even with 1 3 and 2 non-threes. And here he went 2 for 2 from deep, 2 for 2 from deep. You see what I'm saying? Like, I can't condone it. I can't. Like, I would not. I would be going under on Strawther points before I went over. Now, you can make the case that Strawther is going to play more minutes because he's young and they've got a back-to-back. And I get that. That makes total sense. But I'm kind of out. I'm be honest. I love this look. I love when an assistant is the head coach on another team. Yeah, Jordi Fernandez could be in to help this Denver team on the side if you wanted to take Brooklyn to cover. I bet it's not that big of a spread, right? Is it like 9.5 for Denver like it was yesterday? I can just go to games instead of props over here. Oh, well, I don't want to deal with this right now. Let me just pull it up over here. You probably have it. Let me see. But yeah, and I'll get to Christian Brown, and then we'll probably call it there unless anybody has a burning. What am I fucking doing? Let me pull up. I just want to see what the spread is for that Brooklyn game. It is, wow, it's at 5. They do not believe in this team. And is Jamal Murray still questionable, right? So he could play as well. If anybody has any of the updated injury report, let me know. I'm going to pull up Twitter for a minute and just see if Underdog Fantasy has given us any updates on NBA. So Jamal Murray will not have a minutes limit per Coach Malone. He's going to play, and he's going to play the full amount of minutes. That came out 14 minutes ago. So yeah. All right, let me look at Christian Brown. Boy is balling, right? The Great White Hoax, 6 for 11, 1 for 4 from deep. Not very good from 3 so far. But he is getting to the rim, and he is playing off of Jokic really well. So I like 11 shots, 6 shots, 15 shots. So yeah, 26 and what was this? 15, 21, 32 divided by 3. So about 11 shots per game for dude to get 11 points. I don't like him to hit more than 1 3, that's for sure. So he hits 1 3, he needs 8 points. So he needs to hit 4 buckets from there. He's taking 11. So let's say he goes 5 for 11 from the field, which is where he did basically right here. Yeah. So 5 for 11 from the field kind of gets you there if one of those is a 3. I don't hate 5 for 11 from the field in 29, 34, 40 minutes. 40 minutes last night, but he's also young, right? So you can play him a bit more minutes. How many did Russ play last night? He played 18. So yeah, Russ could be in for a few more minutes. I know Legacy King was talking about that. I'm not touching Peyton Watson. So Christian Brown, let's see the rebounds as well. They're at 4.5. Damn, just thought it would still be 3.5. 8 rebound chances, 10 and 9. So he's at 9 rebound chances per game to get 5 boards. Not as beatable of a number for me either, to be honest. It's gonna be a poo-poo. You have to find some nasty boy poo-poo shit to bet on this game, to be honest. We might be getting a deal here, bro. I just talked all that shit on Jamal Murray, and we might be getting a deal. If he's not on a minutes restriction, and people were sort of betting down on him because, I mean, he's been trash, but also he's been, they thought maybe he wouldn't play as many minutes today, and I think he's gonna. So you might be getting a deal. I'm not really on team Faye Jamal right now. If I made that seem like I was. I don't have quite as much for anybody else. I like the Claxton angle. I think Claxton double-double at a price of like plus 280, which I believe was around what you could get, is a look. I'll put that probably on the bottom line because it's worth a sprinkle. But man, like I said, like went 5-1 last night. We're up almost 8 units on the season right now after a week of betting. Like I'm gonna take that and not feel like I need to force shit on a Thursday night or whatever, Tuesday night in the NBA. That's gonna be trash. Let's see, double plus 160. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, you can't get it for anything better than that. Then I'm out on that. So, all right, I appreciate y'all. Like I said, I'm gonna pin a comment on the YouTube video that's going to have the plays that we brought up here. So if you want to look at that, you can. I'll also just remind you too, if you want to make sure you don't miss any of these plays, so you can get this same 8 units per week. Hopefully that will be hitting this season. Link is in the description of the video. If y'all have questions about anything too, you can hit me up in the Discord. I'm at JL Boogie in the free part of the Discord as well. So if you want to hit me up there with anything, hit me and let me know. And we'll get it popping. All right. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to have the NBA video out tonight. Also going to have Thursday Night Football out tomorrow. So if you want to check out the player prop projections I have for that, you can. And until I see y'all next, happy betting. And I'll be back tomorrow.